going on, everybody? This is Ray Hayes with Supplier News. I hope everyone's having a good evening thus far. Well, good evening, good morning, different parts of the world, but I hope everybody's doing good. Before we get the podcast started, I did want to remind everybody to follow us on our social media platforms. Check us out on Facebook at Supplier News. Follow us on Twitter at GDN Network. We're also on Google Plus. We're on Google Plus at Supplier News. So definitely, if you have time, just go like our pages or follow our pages on those social media platforms. Also, check out our website for daily articles at www.suppliernews.com. Articles dealing with supplier diversity, diversity in tech, diversity in general, and also small business, veteran business news. We have a variety of options for you. We also have a little fun where we talk about comics, fashion, and so on and so forth. So we dabble in almost everything. So check us out. Jamie White, the founder of Supplier, he does a podcast with the National Minority Supplier Diversity Council, the We Are NMSDC podcast, where they discuss supply diversity with a variety of different executives in the field of supply diversity. From you have Google, NBC, and a variety of other different companies. So those podcasts are on our website, so check those out too if you're in the supply diversity field, or if you just want to learn more about supply diversity and how possibly you can start a career in supply diversity. That's all talked about in those podcasts. Today, I'm going to be talking about just the idea of being an entrepreneur or starting your own business or startup or whatever. The reason I wanted to talk about it because I was listening to a segment on a talk show earlier today. It was on Sirius XM, and there was a young lady who came on the show, and she was inspirational. And to me, the fact of it is that she didn't have the spirit to say, no, I'm going to give up. Even though she knew she was going to be fired from her job, she took it a step further and said, okay, I understand I'm going to get fired from this company, but how can I start my own company to garner me not only just wealth, but happiness? And she never settled for no. She told the company, I believe she said she was living in one state, and she actually wasn't living in that state. She was living out of the state, but she would take phone calls, business meeting phone calls from that company, and they assumed that she was she was in state. So the fact of it is, she didn't settle for the no, and she always had an idea of, okay, granted, no, I'm not here, but how can I make this happen? So the idea of making it happen, Jamie White, like I said, the founder of Supplier, he had that wisdom and courage. With the fact of it is, I remember I was graduating from Morehouse, and he talked about, okay, he said that he's going to turn down a 6-figure paycheck and start something of his own. That right there alone is like, whoa. Like, you're turning this down just to start something you don't know is going to succeed or fail. But the fact of it is that inspirational or the visionary who has that mindset of, okay, I'm going to succeed no matter what. That's the kind of entrepreneur will succeed on astronomical levels in life. I mean, not just in business, but in life, because they understand that there's always an opportunity to do better or to do more. And the fact that it is not being content in their surroundings and searching for the idea of happiness in what you're doing. Not just, okay, I'm going to sell for this, money is good. And that's one thing I regret I did coming out of college, is that I wanted to pursue something, but I didn't have the courage to go about doing it. I settled for that corporate job. And it was just like I was so unhappy. But if I use those ideas I had and say, okay, I really want to start my own business, and just did it, I think I'll be somewhere else today, honestly. But it's not a matter of just looking back on it. The fact of it is, now I've grown from that, and I like listening to, like I said, the talk show host talk with a young lady earlier today, and just thinking about a variety of things that really inspired me. And actually, I was listening to a TED talk too recently, and the TED talk, it was don't screw yourself. Wait, I believe it's let me double check the fact of how to stop screwing yourself over. And this young woman, she talked about how we're failing ourselves, and you have to have activation energy. Now, I always heard of that potential versus kinetic energy. Potential meaning that energy is just stored up, is there, but it's not being used. But that kinetic energy is in motion. So that reminds me of what kinetic energy reminds me of, the activation energy. Like you're active. You're ready to go. You're ready to start. And you're going to start. So that the reason I wanted to talk about this podcast is because that alone is what makes an entrepreneur successful. Now, this is not a tutorial about how to be a successful entrepreneur, because I'm not a successful entrepreneur. Not yet, at least. So this is just, I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. The fact of it is that it's so much out there, and people out there who were unwilling to say no. I mean, unwilling to accept the no, or I can't do it. And look at them today. So within the coming weeks and coming months, we'll be talking. We're going to be sitting down, or not even sitting down, but talking with successful entrepreneurs. Some people in my life, some people I've known since high school. He's a mentor of mine, and I'm going to be sitting down with him soon. Me and Jamie, we're going to have a discussion with him. Also, a friend of ours by the name of Brian Terrell. We're going to be talking with him as well, and about his entrepreneurial spirit and his. Brian has that just the bull. Like, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going. He's that juggernaut. Once he starts, he's not going to stop. And it's going to be hard to stop him. And that's what, Brian is that bull, that juggernaut. So we're going to be talking with him in the next coming weeks as well. So definitely check out for that. We're probably going to do it not on this platform. We'll probably do it, post it to the website. So we'll just share the link, and I'll put it in the bio once we have the podcast done. But just tune in. We're coming with something different. Like I said, just entrepreneurial series and how to succeed, and just other people's stories of success and failures as well. With that being said, thank you all for listening. Once again, this is Ray Hayes with Supplier News. Check us out as always on our social media platforms. I hope everyone has a good evening, good week, a good weekend. And once again, thank you, and I'm out.